Hello, welcome. I've got a Hornby loco to have a look at today. I don't buy many Hornby because I prefer diesels, and Hornby don't seem to make the diesels that I really like at the price that I like as well, you know. So, but I do like the odd steam locomotive, and I've decided to buy this one. I've had it a while and I've not actually taken it out of the box. Obviously I can't return it if it doesn't work to the seller because I've had it too long. So I'm just hoping it all works and it all looks good and there's no damage. So let me just show you the end of the box. So this is a R2744 and this is a BR440 and it's the Schools Class Blundell's and it's DCC ready. I assume it's 8-pin DCC ready. There's some quite good interesting information there on the back, and I was just having a quick read of that just before I started the video, and it says this is the basically the last 440s that they was making for British Rail, so it's quite interesting. So if you wanted to have a full read of that, I would suggest you pause it and have a good read. I'll try and get any reflections off, so there you go. Right, let's get into this locomotive. Actually, it slides out, yep. Okay, and it still doesn't show me anything else. This is one of the, seems to be one of the earlier type of packagings, I would say. It's got some detailing parts there, actually, all still fixed in. So there's a couple in there. There's brake rigging. I don't know what everything else is in there. I'm not an expert on steam or anything like that, but we've got some paperwork. You see, so this, you know, it tells you see all your lubrication points, which is very handy, and how to remove your base gear, play it, how to chip it. So looking at the DCC ready socket, it looks like it's an 8-pin, so which is probably standard for all these Hornby locomotives of this age. So it does come with a small piece of heat shrink for your DCC decoder. And I really don't like these Hornby packaging. I've got a Class 08 in these, and it did fall out when I was trying to unbox it for doing some testing ones. So let's have a, and yeah, so what do we have here? So something is broken off there, which is all the interior of the fireboxes. So something's not lived up to, what are those? Those transportation lugs. Okay, so I'll have to sort them out. Looks like that is either unglued, so I will have to fix that back in place. Looks like I will need to just remove 2 screws off there so I can actually have this. So we can actually show you it. I'll just pop it there for a second, and then let's have a look at the tender. That is a very light tender, but there again, I suppose all it's got is the pickups, and it's got a sort of a kinematic coupling there, centres, and we do have sprung buffers. and the removable coal load, as it's just fallen out, which is quite nice. It's like quite a low coal load as well, so it is in quite a nice colour. So let me get my screwdriver, and I'm going to take these pieces off, and then we can have a look at the logo properly. Do you screw those back in? I assume so. Very strange packaging. Like I say, I don't really buy Hornby and steam locomotives. We seem to have losing bits all over the place. So the chimney now has just decided to depart company. So there's a few pieces that I'm going to need. So I don't know if you can, I seem to be collecting parts off this locomotive, so I'm going to need to just work out how this goes back on. It looks like there's two little lugs and it should just drop in there, but it doesn't look like it was even glued in place. So I'm going to need to just drop a tiny little bit of glue on that. I don't like really having to do this on a locomotive. A little bit disappointed. I don't think it's anything to do with the seller. I think it's just to do with Hornby. So yeah, let me get that fixed back in place, and I'm also going to put the all the firebox door. It's actually quite nicely detailed, and there does seem to be nice gauges on there and everything like that, but obviously this needs to be in place for the logo to look good. So I'm going to get this fixed back in place, and then we're going to have a proper look on the white background and just see how it looks. And obviously every time I tip the tender up, it drops the coal load out, and this just uses a wire system for the pickups and really a peg and a hoop system to keep them together. So it's not ideal, you can see that, but it does look quite nice close coupling. So and obviously you've got an option to make it even closer if you wanted to. So anyway, let's get this. I'm going to get these parts reattached, and then we can have a look on the white background. And there we have it up close. So doesn't this look a very nice model, very nicely detailed. So let's zoom in and let's get a closer look at these details. See, nice nameplates there. Lining does look quite nice actually on the boiler. And it's a BR blank, and it's like quite a basic livery. But you with the black and the red lining there, and also with the pipework, actually really does look good. You can see the BR logo there on the tender. Let's get in a little bit closer. And we can get a better look at the detail now. Fix the cab in place. You can see a nice running number there. Valve gear all looks nice and fine. Some nice lining there on the cylinder. Let's have a look inside. And you can see, once the interior is fitted, it is a very nice cab, very nicely well detailed as well. And it does actually show the model off really nice. Obviously with the tender attached, it's harder to see inside the cab, but let's have a look around the opposite side. Everything looks good. As you can see, we do have sprung buffers pushing the loco. They are sprung. They're actually quite very tight sprung buffers actually. You see the nameplates on both sides. Some nice fine detail there. You can see the wires, but there's not a lot you can do about that. They do need to be there. They're just not really that, noticeable, and you don't really notice them from the eye, and especially on the track. So I didn't really notice it until I was actually looking at the camera monitor. And one of the problems that I've always noticed with steam locomotives is the top of the locomotive. So let's just have a quick have a look. And there is no really visible, well, I can't really see a seam mark properly there. Don't know how well that's coming out on camera, but it just seems to be a rivet line along the top where the seam line would be. It's just either been disguised, but it's done really well. So I'll look at the front. So we've got a nice detail on the smoke box there, and the number. Obviously there's some parts to fit with the vacuum pipes on for the buffer beam. Let's have a closer look at the rear of the tender. And that does have the vacuum pipe fitted. Got the water filler. And I'll just show you on the inside. So you can see the coal load there. It is actually quite a realistic coal load, and it is removable because it falls out every time you lift and tip the tender. Let's go and have a look at how this runs on the track. Let's see if we have a runner. Right, I've just got my Gauge Master combi, as this one's DC. I'm just going to turn it up nice and slowly. I'm not sure what direction I've got this set to. Okay, we've got it in reverse, but yes, we move. And here we go forwards. Yes. And let's see how it goes over the points then. Now we have a stall. let's just give that a little bit of a nudge, and it wasn't happy there at all. Okay, so it may need a really good run in. And now it's not liking that at all. And I think we're derailing there, so let me just turn the power off. Yes. That may be, did I put it on right? Let's see. Okay, I need to have a look and see if I can get that to fit right. Right, it just seems to derail every time it's going forwards over that set of points. These are Pico second radius, they're all brand new for this piece of test track, and it seems that there's just too much, it's just too loose at the front. It seems to be not a stable locomotive, so it seems to have a pivot right on that middle wheel, so it just does not want to go through. I would need to take this apart and have a proper look on why it does it always. You know? So I could turn it round and just see if it does exactly the same the opposite way. But before we do that, I'm going to just see how well this does actually crawl, and then let's have a look and see if we can diagnose the fault on here. Alright then, let's see if we can do a crawl. Just turn it up very slowly. You just hear something there. We do get some movement. And these really slow speeds, we do get sort of a stall. Maybe we do need to have a look at the pickups. Maybe I think this one does need a little bit of work. It's not a perfect runner straight out of the box, so I need to investigate this one a little bit more. So we're getting derailing on the points, cutting out on a slow crawl, but overall it looks good, but a loco's not really good if it just looks good. It needs to run as well. But like I said, it probably needs a good run in. I haven't got the track to run this in. I've only got this piece of test track. I could put an oval together to give it a test run, but probably not this evening. So I think the next thing I want to have a look at is just have a look, see if we can see the reason why the front wheels are sort of a bit loose and it's sort of wobbling around. So I'm just going to take it apart and just have a quick look at that. I'm interested in seeing how actually why this is not sitting flat, and just having a look at the pickups and maybe the body removal. from looking at the instructions, it does say that we have the DCC is in the tender itself, so there's not really much normally you would need to remove the body, but I'm going to have a look, see if there's something not sitting right. So that should be the base temper plate screws. There was the 2 transit screws which was holding those. So how does this come off? I can feel it sort of loose. What's this? It doesn't seem to want to come out easily. So servicing isn't exactly easy. Okay, there it is out in the end. Hey, I'm not sure if you can see that well. I'm struggling. That doesn't seem to be the best way of picking up at all. And I can't really see. That one is definitely the drive wheel. Can't seem to get this piece out. Not sure if it's supposed to come out with the wipers, the pickups on it. But it's not obviously the easiest to service. Now what does it say? From what I can see, it's not really giving you a great deal of information. Apart from you wouldn't take that off for body removal from what it's showing. Yeah, I think I need to read these instructions so we can have a look how the body does remove. I've been looking at the instructions and trying to work out how to take the body off, and it just says remove this one screw, which I have done, which is just okay underneath there, and then it should just drop down, which it doesn't. I don't want to force anything and break anything off. So I'm at a bit of a loss on the body removal, and I don't really know on how I would fix this, because this doesn't seem to be fitting that well, you know, when we're on the track. I'm going to pop this screw back in, and I'm going to have a look in the tender and just see. where a DCC fitting is. So we have the tender, and this says so it just looks like there's 2 screws. And then the tender body should just lift off. There we go. So it is just 8-pin. Obviously you got room there for a speaker, and just to the connector there. And this does have a base keeper plate just underneath, and so you can keep the pickups nice and clean. And as you can see, the coal loads decided not to fall out anymore, but the firebox and the gauges keeps falling out, so that doesn't clip in. So I'm going to have to fix that in permanently. And because these just go into the plastic, you don't want to be over tightening them. Just enough to really, you can just feel the bite. Let's just bring the loco tender back into shot, and I'll give you a little bit of a sum up. Would I recommend this? No. It's a very nice looking locomotive, don't get me wrong, and obviously you could probably get this running a lot better. I'm not sure if a run-in will work better, because it should have been running anyway, but derailing over points, second radius points, they're only set track points, not even Hornby points. Hornby points I would have expected lots of problems that I've had in the past. Pico points, every other loco that I've had over those, been perfectly fine. So if you really want one of these, then I would get one, but I wouldn't recommend. I didn't realise these had traction tyres on as well, but not probably the best second-hand buy I've made this year. I'd probably say this is the worst buy I've made this year. It wasn't expensive, so I haven't spent a lot of money on it, so I can't remember exactly how much it was, but I know the steam locomotives usually go for a lot less than the diesels. So, but have a look round at another manufacturers. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and find it very useful, and I wish you a very good evening and take care.